Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's 4 a.m. on the dot here in Connecticut on the East Coast. All right, no fever this morning at all. No fever last night. I still got a cough. I got a little, not a wheeze even, but just a little congestion. You know what? I was nervous when I woke up with over 101 degree temperature yesterday, and when I looked over the symptoms for coronavirus, I had almost every one except for trouble breathing. But in the back of my head, I know how I punish myself. You guys know I'm out every morning, like for 3-4 hours outside, go walking, hiking through the woods for 4 or 5 miles through town, and biking 10 miles every day in the rain. I bike, I cold weather, warm weather, and the way I treat my body, I wasn't very surprised that this would happen. I also have some allergies. I seem to be, as I get older, I seem to have allergies too. I in the back of my head, I kind of figured it to be my own fault in that respect. The way I beat on myself every morning, working out. So anyway, that's where we're at. Enough about that. All right, I want to talk about Trump, President Trump. Something caught my eye this morning. It was from a video from a couple days ago. It was Trump coming out in one of these White House produced videos when he just got back from the hospital. And he's saying, he says, this China virus, believe me, I'm going to make China's going to pay for what they did to America. I'm going to make China pay for what they've done to America. He was standing like on the west lawn or south lawn or whatever lawn in front of the White House. All right. The day before that, I think it was the day before that, because they released about 5-6 White House videos with him out of the front lawn. And he says, it's nothing. I'm cured. I got over it. It's nothing to be afraid of. So which is it? If what he's insinuating in the second video, that he's going to make China pay. Those are his words. So how do I take that? It sounds like he's going to start some stuff militarily, economically. He's going to start some issues with China, and they're not going to like it. All right, because what they did to America. But in the previous video, he said it's nothing. It's nothing at all. It's like the common flu. It's nothing to be afraid of. So in the previous video, he's saying this is nothing. In other words, he might be insinuating that Americans overreacted, which I don't think is the truth either. So which is it? In one video, he comes out and says, look, this is nothing. It's like the flu. I got over it. All right, so then it's nothing. And then we hear most Americans like me saying, well, if it's nothing, how come 250,000 Americans are dead in 7-8 months? But in the next video, he's saying, oh, he's going to make China pay. He's contradicting himself right there. In one video, he's saying this is nothing. And more or less, he's insinuating, well, Americans did this to ourselves because we overreacted, which I don't believe is the case. In the next video, he's saying it's all China's fault. They did this on purpose, and they're going to pay. All right, so let's go over these videos. They contradict each other because in one video, he's saying it's nothing. It's nothing. In the next video, it's more than something, and it's something that China's going to have. He's going to make China pay for. Well, which is it? Is it nothing, or is it something worth starting World War III over? Because one video said one thing one day, and the very next day it was contradicting, and it said the exact opposite. Which is it? Okay, the truth, come on. SARS, MERS, those are coronaviruses. They came out over a decade ago. We knew this was going to happen. We know it's from the wet markets. The wet markets are not the best places. This is where the transfer happens, where these coronaviruses transfer from bats, from birds to human beings. The practices there aren't the best when it comes to health. But did China pay any attention to that? Not really. Did Americans pay any attention to that? No. Did we keep traveling back and forth from China to America, from America to China, back and forth for the economy, for our own money, did anything change? No. What did we think was going to happen? Did we think it would just never pop up again? It'll never happen again. It happened twice, SARS, MERS, but it'll never happen again. We'll just keep doing what we do. And it happened again. Whose fault is that? Whose fault? You know, it's like you run out into traffic, you get hit by a car, and the next day you run out to traffic again. What do you think's going to happen? And is that China's fault? It's everybody's fault for ignoring. You know, if you don't learn from history, you're condemned to repeat it again. It's common sense, people. Trump supporters need someone to blame. This is people. These are things that happen on Earth, but the way people respond to them or don't respond or ignore them makes them worse. It's not China's a little to blame. America's a little to blame. We're all a little to blame because all of us are basically concentrating on our money, our egos, the way we look to other people, to other countries, and it's hurting us in the end. That's the bottom line. We're not admitting the truth to ourselves, what we need to do. You know, if back when SARS and MERS happened, we should have put some things in place. We shouldn't be traveling back to that area, or something had to change, or it was going to happen again. For Trump to go I'm going to make China pay. What's going to become of that? Now I go to my video from yesterday about Trump being a man of God. A man of God, a Christian, would not do something like this. What you do, you're talking. He's talking about retribution, revenge, hatred, just traits that are certainly aren't Christian. To me, there's positive things and negative things. The more positive stuff you have in your life, the better your life is. The more the whole system of the law of attraction. The more positive things you attract, the more positive you put out, the more positive comes back to you. And the same with negative stuff. So this blaming China, I'm going to make China pay for this, that's going to lead to nothing but more problems for China, more problems for America. It's going to ignore the whole coronavirus again, and it'll happen again. We're going to end up killing each other. There's going to end up being a World War III over this because we're going to each blame each other for what we ignored in the first place. And we just kept doing what we do, making money, ignoring the consequences of our actions. And, you know, that's the bottom line. You know, some people might accept it, some people might not, but it's the bottom line. And again, a Christian person would not lead the country, the leader of the country, to come on TV and talk about revenge for something that wasn't it Americans that traveled to Wuhan and brought it back here to make the money, right? The thousands of Americans, how our economies are interlinked. It's all about the money. Look at the dates too. I think January 24th was a big date. I remember that because it's a special day to me. He didn't close off travel to the 31st. The first case was the 30th, I think. The first official case was the 30th. He closed the barn door after the cow was out. And now he's on TV bragging about how, I did something nobody else would have done. I stopped travel from China. But, you know, he knows that's bull. He did it too late. He had to be pushed into doing it. Everybody that was around him at that time said it took 2 weeks to talk him into closing the economies because he knew it would affect the stock market. The stock market would affect his re-election and his rich friends. It took him 2 weeks to be talked into closing the barn door, and it was too late. Is this China's fault? You know, and then to see him talk about revenge on China, that's just going to bring more harm, more negativity, more pain and suffering to America. That's all revenge, false revenge really, is going to bring. It might make Trump feel good. It might make Trump supporters feel good. Deep down, they have to know the truth. They can't be that stupid. They know the truth. They know it wasn't China's fault. They know this wasn't intentional. They just need a scapegoat. Anyway, I'll be back later with some more videos. I got a lot to talk about today. You guys have a good Wednesday.